Network Entertainment.
Hi, this is Let's Talk, and I'm Pio Ontiveros. On this show, what we do is we unbox, unpack, and decode many issues, different matters, anything and everything that's important to talk about. And today, for this episode, we are speaking or talking to Congressman Paulo Ortega and Congressman Zia Alonto Adyong. They're very familiar faces because you see them on television and online almost every single day because they are the spokespersons of the panel of prosecutors in the impeachment trial of Vice President Sara Duterte. So, Kong Zia and Kong Paulo, thank you very much for being on this show.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you po. Thank
Salamat po, Ma'am Pia.
Okay. Grabe, parang tumatanda ako pag minamam. Huwag niyo na lang akong imam. Sige. Anyway.
Okay, Pia.
Okay. Yon.
Parang iba rin yung ano.
Oh, parang tropa.
Chill lang tayo. Relax lang tayo. Okay. So, first of all, kaya kayo halatang nasa prosecution room kayo ng Senado dahil katatapos lang ng Day 13, August 5 ng impeachment trial at kagagaling lang ni Kong Zia doon sa prosecution press conference that was held right after the trial was adjourned. So, first, I wanted to ask you, and of course, everybody, ang dami namang nanood ng trial, no? Pero in your estimation, according to your observation, in one word, how would you describe today, the trial today? Kaya ba ng one word or like two or three? Kong Zia, you first. Si Kuya Zia muna.
Actually, it's kung ako po tatanungin mo, the way I would describe it kasi dun din sa pagpresenta ni Attorney Kapunan, right? I mean, this information came out during the presentation and the way Attorney Kapunan examined the witness. So I guess in one word, no, I would describe it as masterclass in relation to how Attorney Kapunan also handled and examined the witness. Kasi naipakita na ang pera, well, it was already established na ang pera natanggap na ng SDOs. Pero yung pera na natanggap ng SDOs at na in cash ay within the direct supervision of the Vice President and at the same time the Secretary of Department of Education. At the time when confidential funds were released to both of these agencies, the Office of the OVP and then sa Department of Education. So very clear po yon. Starting from the submission of the financial and physical plan, this actually triggers kung paano gagamitin yung pera, saan dadalhin yung pera, ano yung mga programa na paggagamitan nitong pera ng confidential funds, siyang pumirma, yung doon sa lahat ng mga disbursement vouchers, siya ang pumirma, pati na rin doon sa liquidation report, siya ang pumirma, accomplishment report, siya ang pumirma. So we have already established the fact that the SDOs, though they are, their names appear in these two checks, not two actually, see parang 7 checks, so 3 checks for the DepEd and 4 checks for the OVP. It's still the Vice President that is really the one calling the shots. So in terms of culpability, in terms of the who is responsible for the misuse of these public funds, all roads lead to the OVP, to the Vice President herself. Kasi siya yung pumirma. Yes.
Let's qualify lang. So SDO, Senior Disbursing Officer, sila yung mga nakapirma din sa mga dokumento. At the same time, the witness you're referring to is Roderick Wamil, yung
Wamil, yes. Wamil,
COA, yung auditor ng ICFAO. Okay, so like you said, to summarize in one word, masterclass. And you are, of course, referring to how Attorney Lorna Kapunan, the lead private prosecutor, diba?
Yeah, private
Is
prosecutor.
handled the direct examination of CPA. Hindi lang pala CPA, pati abogado din siya, si Roderick Wamil. Okay, si Kong Paolo naman. Kong Paolo, how would you describe the day 13?
Well, basically, para kang ano, no, it's a luxury to have Attorney Lorna. Parang, parang
Sorry,
may,
nag-open.
ano, parang kang may cheat code. Kasi parang she gets away with a lot of things with her charm and charisma. So, it makes the hearings very interesting, pero it doesn't lack substance. Pero ang key takeaway ko talaga with the day 13 is yung complete staff work nga yung mention ko kanina. Ano ba naman yan? Hindi sila marunong mag-liquidate. Ang tagal-tagal na nila sa gobyerno, nandiyan sila sa gobyerno. Or ganun lang sila ka-confident na walang babangga sa kanila, na hindi sila mako-call out, na hindi aabot sa point ng impeachment, na hindi aabot sa point na they're being held accountable because of what they're doing or abusing the process itself. So kaya nga tayo nandito sa impeachment na to, dahil nandito na tayo sa article na to, because wala, ni complete staff work, hindi man lang nila nagawa ng maayos. So, until tomorrow, yan, tuloy-tuloy po yung trail. The hunt for the, kung saan po ginamit itong mga pera na to.
Okay. Like you were saying, no, ito kasi Article 1, and again to situate and to remind the audience about where we are in the trial. Dahil nag-umpisa ang trial sa July 6, August 5 ngayon, so halos mag-iisang buwan na. Nag-umpisa tayo sa Article 4, yung grave threats, yung trineten ni VP Sara ang buhay ng Pangulong
Pangulo.
Marcos. Tapos ngayon, nasa Article 1 naman tayo, yung alleged
Confi.
misuse of confidential or confi funds ng OVP, Office of the Vice President, and Department of Education. So I asked you a while ago how you would describe in one word yung day 13. Like Conzia said, masterclass. Si Kong Paolo naman said cheat code. How would you describe naman how things are going for the prosecution in general from the start of the trial hanggang ngayon? Kasi, and syempre again to remind people, nasa prosecution pa lang tayo dahil hindi na nga ayaw pumayag ng defense na kada article sila naman ang sumagot, gusto nila after later on. So how are things going for the prosecution? Kong Paolo, ikaw muna.
Definitely po, for me, maganda po yung tinatakbo kasi nalalatag po lahat, yung mga witnesses po namin, maayos yung paglalahad nila ng mga nalalaman nila. Pero there are some attacks, attacking the character, attacking the capability of the witnesses. Hindi naman po nagpa-prosper yun dahil sabi ko nga, very capable po yung witnesses na nagta-take ng stand, and you can see they're really experts at what they're doing, even with the NBI, yung mga COA, yung mga audit team natin na nandito ngayon. So wala, very knowledgeable. Sometimes maraming curveballs. Actually, sometimes hindi na nga nanggagaling sa defense yung mga curveballs eh. So again, but they have answered. For me, they've answered I'm very satisfied with their answers. Kahit na medyo may konting press, may konting mabibigat na tanong from senator judges, ano naman po, maganda po yung mga sagot nila, saka hindi po sila nagshy away from certain questions or certain mga manifestations na probably judging or looking at their capacity to do their work or mag-analyze or even yung mismong pagkatao po nila. So I'm very much happy with the results ng mga witnesses po.
Okay. And since you mentioned the NBI witnesses, again to remind people who are watching and listening, yung tatlong NBI witnesses nasa Article 4 yan. The first one was J.M. Kalilung, yung NBI senior agent. The second one was Jeremy Lotok, yung regional director ngayon ng BARM. Kahit, di ba, Kong Zia, kahit wala siya masyadong alam sa Islam. Naalala ko lang yung question ni Sen Robin sa kanya. At yung
Oo,
pangatlo, si Melvin Matibag, yung director mismo ng
tibag.
NBI. So, nag-testify po sila. And this is just for the audience, of course, doon sa Article 4, yung grave threats nga. Okay. So, Kong Zia naman, kayo naman, what is your estimation? How are things going for the prosecution?
Well, before I answer that, Ma'am Piano, the Supreme Court just came out with a decision ruling na
Yes.
yung final ni Vice President and her team na questioning the jurisdiction of the House of Representatives during the time na nag-conduct po ng hearing ng committee hearing, confirmation hearing ng COJ ay dinismiss na po. Sinabi ng Supreme Court na it's moot and academic since the issue of jurisdiction is can no longer be discussed or be decided by the court because it has already elevated and matured in a matured stage
Into a trial.
to a trial. So hindi na natin dapat mapag-usapan hindi na dapat natin marinig sa kanila yung fishing expedition, mini trial because the jurisdiction case of the filing of the complaint that they have filed before Supreme Court has already been ruled out. No,
Yeah.
just want to insert that para
Yeah.
what
No,
I
it's
think
you did. Yeah. And
Yeah.
sorry, Kong Zia, just to interject lang. Natawa lang ako dun sa timing kasi nung lumabas yon, kasalukuyang nagsasalita si Attorney Christine Ferrer, no, ng
Yeah.
defense. At doon niya i-explain yung nga yung nagbini trial and ang dami niya sinabi about the Justice Committee, the Quadcom, gano'n. Biglang 10 minutes later, ito na yung announcement ng Supreme Court, no? But sige, please, go ahead.
It's a anong tawag nila doon? It's a providential intervention, di ba? Parang that's how I look
Haba
at
ng
it.
binasa niya.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I think for starting from Article 4, we are hitting the mark every step of the way. Kasi kung papapansin mo, the first witness, as you mentioned the name po, Ma'am Pia, no? Si Mr. Kalilong, hindi na refute yung testimony niya. In fact, yung evidence and testimony at saka yung digital evidence na sinecure niya as part of the investigation ng grave threat, hindi na refute kasi naggamit pa nga nila ito yung portions of video. Yung si Attorney Lotok, hindi nila din na refute na talagang merong element ang video na yon for the NBI to hold the preliminary or conduct preliminary investigation because number one, yung mismong being threatened ay head of state, head of government, chief of commander-in-chief. So tuloy-tuloy and then here comes Director Matibag, sabi na hindi lang actually intent but it could still be an issue of national security kasi number one, the effect of the threat that was seen in the video cascaded to the level of ordinary people threatening the president already. May mga comments sa mga posts sa Facebook, social media na tinitreaten na ang presidente. So it now requires the full attention of the security agency na kailangan mag-create ng task force, no, para maimbestiga at mukhang hindi lang iisa yung nakausap kasi could be multiple individuals na ma-involved dito and the statements of the Vice President in relation to the statements made by her brothers, so mayroon talagang basis for the NBI to really look deeper into a possible conspiracy. Could be conspiracy in a way. So I think that is moving forward. Hindi naman nila yun na-refute. So ngayon naman, Article 1, confidential funds, they are questioning not on the basis of yung production of this acknowledgement receipts, but on the basis of technicality. So parang hindi nila ni-refute yung source mismo o yung authenticity of the acknowledgement receipts having been sourced out from the Office of the Vice President and the Department of Education kasi sila naman yung nag-release nito. Hindi nila yung kino-contest. What they're contesting is actually the premise by which COA conducted the audit on confidential funds. Lumabas sila ng mga joint circular dated 1992, which actually already, debunked and already superseded by the 2015 joint circular. So these are the things that they try to do para baka sakali na mawala yung, kumbaga, makalusot sila na in terms of yung culpability of the Vice President pagdating doon sa handling of the confidential funds at saka mismo questioning the investigation kasi dapat daw confidential in nature, hindi rin nila yun ma-reinforce with legal basis to trump up yung sinasabi po ng prosecution that though it is confidential in nature, but it should not supersede accountability and transparency, and it should not render the COA as the agency that is granted by the Constitution the exclusive mandate to audit public expenses ay hindi dapat mag-supersede yung confidential nature of activity with the mandate of the COA to audit public funds. Hindi nila nasagot yon, hindi nila ma-refute, and they cannot supply any counter evidence to dispel COA's the testimony of Wamil saying that the auditing process by which COA is doing, ICFAO is doing, is based on the premise na kinakailangan strict compliance yung pag-utilize ng pondo, because that's what the joint circular said, no? Over utilization of confidential funds and intelligence funds. So they're trying to do away from that kind of explanation by questioning the basis of ICFAO to conduct the investigation. And they came out with that 1992 1992 circular na I think dapat alam na nila kasi 2015 meron ng bagong circular that governs the utilization of the confidential funds. That's why I said masterclass si Attorney Kapunan, because right away nasabi niya yon, why are you bringing this up? It's dated 1992 and the witness it's not even competent to to testify that what you're producing here, a document, is actually the one that was adopted by COA in 1992 because he was not even hired back in 1992. So we're hitting the mark every step of the way. Wala silang may counter sa mga argumento at testimony ng mga witnesses ng prosecution.
At dahil pinag-uusapan natin mga testigo, syempre hindi naman ito confirmed, narinig ko lang. I've been hearing this in even before the trial started, na baka daw and baka pwede yung i-confirm or i-deny, baka daw magkaroon pa ng isang surprise witness. Di ko na lang sasabihin kung anong article, pero may possibility pa ba? Pwede pa bang mag-surprise witness? Given that you've already identified both prosecution and defense who will be your witnesses, at meron bang ganoong scenario? Or baka naman ikaw yon.
Kasi parang
Hindi.
surprise witness.
I-announce namin na may surprise bago siya lumabas. Hindi, joke lang. Siguro syempre, without giving away too much. Ayoko rin namang i-confirm or i-deny. But I guess the prosecutors are maybe playing it a little close to the chest. Baka po, mas maigi po na during the presentation na rin po na mailabas. Malay natin, may lumabas si Mary Grace Piatos. So, hindi natin masasabi. But again, opo. Pero actually, trinay din natin siya ipatawag during the House hearings before. Hindi siya dumating eh. Kaya, sabi nga po maganda po yung explanation ni Kong Zia Mampia kasi kaya po may mga ibang senator judges na, pero hindi naman po pinasagot ni Senator Cheese kanina. Tinatanong nila yung meeting or something that was held with the presence of some members of the defense.
You're referring
which is
to
naman,
Michael Poa and Zuleika Lopez.
Opo. Na-clarify naman po ni Senator Cheese na papasagutin sila in due time. But again, kaya po siguro may mga senator judges din na nagsisik na clarification about it. Kasi nga po, yung when there are red flags from the COA, may pattern na yan eh. Hindi naman basta-basta magbibitaw yan ng mga AOM nila saka yung mga ND, yung mga reports nila. Kasi usually naman po, may ilalabas po, may nakikita na po silang pattern. So yung mga senator judges po kanina, parang tinitignan nila kung meron po bang hilot o remedyo na nangyayari in between sa mga na schedule po na hearings or meetings with the OVP and the COA. Yung 'di ba parang may appeal sila, may mga ganun. So hindi po agad kasi nasagot, hindi po agad kumpleto yung mga documents. So yun, parang ganun po yung basa ko sa tanong ng mga senator judges kanina about it.
Pero meron tayong
I-spell it out lang,
yeah,
i-define mo lang AOM. AOM
Yung
is
audit observation memo, yung
Okay.
notice of
And then
suspension.
notice of
ND,
suspension, and yung notice of disallowance. Opo.
Pero
Oo.
Ma'am Pia,
Kasi- yes,
meron
yes.
naman kaming reserve witness, no? Yung sinasabi ni Pao na binibigyan naman ng leeway yung both panels na magkaroon ng reserve witness. Pero dapat 5 days before na ipapresenta itong witness, masabihan ng korte at saka yung kabilang panel.
Both sides.
Pero na-mention kanina ni Kong Pao yung attempt nila from the AOM downgrade into audit query.
Audit,
Diba?
audit query, yeah.
Audit
Pero
query.
wala naman daw
Parang ayaw
ganon,
nilang
wala daw.
tanggapin yung AOM. Ayaw nilang tanggapin yung AOM.
Oh.
Alam mo yung sa aking observation, wala dapat right ang isang agency para sabihin ang COA na hindi namin tatanggapin yan. In fact, sabi nga ng COA, nagulat daw sila that was the first time that they received such response from
10
an
years.
agency not accepting the AOM, 'di ba? So it speaks about yung attitude, Ma'am Pia, yung behavior na na you're not supposed to the behavior that you're not supposed to call me out.
Nagtataka ka pa ba? Pag
I mean,
taga
diba?
Mindanao ka, dapat sanay ka.
Oh.
I
Stop
mean,
calling
that
me
kind of
Ma'am
ano,
Pia,
kasi-
ikaw talaga, Kong Zia. Sure ha, Sir
Kasi-
Pia. Oh.
'Di ba parang Ma'am Pia, it speaks about the kind of the character of the person, no? Unfortunately, a leader, second highest official in our land, na not actually recognizing the COA's mandate and jurisdiction over the funds that have been utilized by her office by not accepting the AOM. What is expected, the public expects her, or yung mismong opisina niya or mandate ng opisina niya expects her to do, is to simply comply with the documents required of her office para mas maayos yung liquidation, yung pag-audit, not liquidation, pag-audit ng COA. Kasi insufficient
Okay.
yung mga, apart from insufficient, mukhang outside of the exclusive menu ng joint circular yung pinaggamitan nila nung mga confidential
Okay.
funds. Like Mary Grace Piatos was paid 70,000 worth of medicine. So, purchase of reward. So, mukhang hindi daw po pwede yun. So, ayaw nilang tanggapin. Dapat sana, ginawa nila ng paraan para makapagbigay
Hindi.
sila ng dokumento.
May sakit kasi yung mga informant kaya gamot hinihingi nila, hindi compensation. Sakitin po yung mga
paano
sakitin
sakitin?
po yung mga
Oo.
informant nila.
Ang daming
Kasi
gamot.
pinambayad
Oo.
nila. Ay, hindi ko tatanggapin yung pag ako binigyan ng gamot.
Pero
Siyempre,
pare may
gusto ko
nakatanggap.
Anong gusto mo, Kong Paolo?
compensation. Siyempre, kailangan ko ng
Compensation, pera.
Diba?
Ba't
Ano naman?
Perahin
Ano
nyo na
gamot?
lang, parang ganon.
Di ba?
Dapat-
Parang sabi ko,
Teka.
either may sakit lang talaga lahat ng mga confidential agents nila. Sickly.
Okay. Teka, mamaya pag-usapan natin yung sense of humor ni Kong Paolo Ortega.
Ay, naku.
Pero,
Hindi.
for the trial, medyo
Do you feel lost, doubting yourself, and tired? You question your worth and existence? Well, I'm here for you. Hey, this is Gailey Chavez, and I'm the host of Free Yourself Podcast. My podcast talks about self-love, self-discovery, and growth. This is for everyone who wants to live their fullest life and become the person that they could be. Let me help out and remind you that this is your life, your path, that you are not broken and you are worth it. Catch me every Friday at 8 p.m. See ya!
Let's go to the personal, okay? So, I wanted to ask you, and then we've spent so much time kasi already on the trial, but I wanted to ask you muna, people are curious, how did you end up becoming spokesman for the prosecution panel? So, let's start muna with, Kong Paulo. Paano ka paano ka napadpad dyan?
Ewan ko pa. Hindi, hindi pa. Pero hindi naman actually hindi po ako declared as a spokesperson. I'm here
Undeclared.
opo, people spokesperson ako. Unofficial kumbaga. Pero I'm here as a
Oh.
part of the leadership po
Parang
kasi
unexplained wealth, undeclared
oo,
asset.
si Zia kasi sa si Kong Ren are the official spokes po ng
Okay.
House at ng impeachment team. Pero kami naman po as syempre House leaders, try to do our part, laymanize, explain, of course make our constituents understand, lalo po sa akin sa mga Ilocano, sa region po namin, sa Solid
Okay.
North para medyo po mas maintindihan din. But aside from that, syempre we've been part of the 19th Congress, the hearings and everything. So
Yeah.
parang
Oo.
na po,
Okay.
nasanay na. Dito na.
I stand corrected. My bad. Hindi ka pala spokesman. Pero talagang para kang spokesman kasi. So,
Yeah.
Opo. Ako po talaga yung mahal ng taong bayan, hindi naman siya masyado parang okay lang. Title lang to,
Ayaw ko
title.
makipag-compete sa department na yun. Sa'yo na yun.
tapos, kung siya, ikaw naman, so nag-quadcom ka, and then that's how you became,
Young Guns.
I think pareho kami ni Kong Pao. Umupo kami sa mga investigation, tapos meron kaming direct knowledge doon sa mga evidence na lumabas during the good government, pati na rin sa good Quadcom, di ba? May Blue Ribbon sa good gov.
Hindi, sabihin mo na mas active talaga tayo as compared naman sa medyo mas mabibo lang tayo ng konti.
Ganun talaga magsalita to, Pia.
Yeah, I know.
Anyway, so wala namang wala naman talagang nag-volunteer. Pumili lang ata sila kasi nung last congressman Pia, parating din kami nagpa-press con. Yung grupo namin sa Young Guns. So parang isa yun sa mga napili nila, kinonsider nila, no? So I think isa rin yun. Plus, yung sa Lakas kasi, Pia, I was for a while designated as spokesperson for Lakas CMD. And
okay.
maybe I'm just trying to at least get the sense of why I was chosen as
Saka Barm.
as spokesperson.
Barm,
And maybe my experience during the Marawi siege when I was also
Right.
the spokesperson.
That's where
For
you were
the-
first. That's where you were first, kumbaga, introduced to the national stage, because that's
Yes,
when I
yeah.
first met you. That's when I started interviewing you because of the Marawi
Yeah.
siege.
Yeah.
Kanina, Kongzia, nung binanggit mo yung lakas, akala ko ang sasabihin mo yung lakas ng appeal ninyong dalawa.
Kasi
Lakas ng loob, ha?
lakas ng loob.
Lakas na loob pala. Lakas ng loob. Pero Kongzia, di ba munti ka na mag-law, or you took law subjects tas hindi ka lang natapos? Or ano ba yun? Tama.
I wanted sana to take up law, pero I was overtaken by maybe yung obligasyon sa pamilya. So, yeah. I mean,
so that's why you ended up serving. Pero I read, tama ba to? You were in UP Diliman first. Tapos you were taking music.
yeah,
music.
before. Yeah.
Okay, and then
Ay,
you ended
maniwala
up
ni
going-
Pao.
and then you ended up going to Ateneo de Cagayan, Xavier
Yeah.
University, kung saan ka nag-BS Psych. Tapos,
Yes.
and then you served in And
Then
then
I
Kong
was-
Pao,
yes.
oo. Tapos, buti na lang nabanggit yun na yung Young Guns, because that's my next question. So, ang tawag sa inyo sa 19th Congress were the Young Guns, para kayong mga neophytes, no? And then, of course, so we know you as congressmen, but again, just to define, to make it clear to the audience. So, si Kongzia, you are representative on your second term of the first district of Llano del Sur, and si Kong Pao naman, representative on your correct also second term, no, First District,
First District.
Lanao Sur. Pero dumaan ka sa nagbukal, konsehal, kagawad, di ba? Went through the,
Opo.
oh,
Local.
tas young guns kayo, so neophytes. Pero ang tawag din sa inyo, young blood, but old blood also. So, you're young,
Si Pao ang old blood.
old, hindi
Oy.
kasi, but you belong to these big political families, right? So si Kong Pao,
Mag-seatmate po yung lolo namin.
and I used to cover, there was a Kong Ortega, when I was covering in the 1990s. I don't know if that's your lolo or your grand uncle or your tito, Kong Pao. And then there was a Mamintal Adyong in Congress when I was covering also, a long time ago, no? So kilala kayo as belonging to these big political families. And I just brought it up also because Kong Zia, you said na yung obligasyon sa pamilya. So you had to serve also, kumbaga. So kaya ka napunta sa Congress, correct?
Yes, and well, nung time na yon, I got married. Kasi sa amin sa family kasi medyo early yung marriage, sa kultura namin, especially in our family.
How old were you? How old were you when you got married?
I think I was 20. Pwede secret na lang, Ma'am Pia. Kasi I got married.
No.
Yeah, well, hindi naman not early age, pero nasa ano pa. I wanted to
20s.
proceed to law eh. But, yeah.
Uy,
Gusto
pwede
ko
ka pa mag-law because you sound like a lawyer.
Wow.
Diba? Sabi ko sa'yo eh.
Attorney,
Tapos sasabihin ni Pao siya yung gusto marinig daw ng tao. Sabihin.
But anyway, okay. Teka, my next is, teka muna, so pinag-usapan yung young, no? And just to get this out there,
That's so young.
kasi kanina, di ba, the other day, Kong Paulo, sorry, I keep calling Kong Paulo, you would refer to Kong Zia as Kuya Zia. Okay, so you're young, you're 42 years old, correct, no?
Opo.
Kong Paulo, no? And si Kong Zia naman, 46.
Yeah.
Ang babata. At magbe-birthday ka. Nagta-trial pa rin, magbe-birthday ka, no, Kong Zia?
Magbe-birthday ba kayo? Di ba bawal? Pag
May birthday naman.
Ay, kala. Pasko. Sorry.
Bawal yung ano. Wala kaming Pasko. Pero yung birthday, meron naman.
Okay. And you know, kanina pa tayo.
Gusto niya pa. Parang gusto nito sabihin. Parang nakapagalitin.
3-in-1. Kong Pao. 3-in-1. Okay. At may snacks kayo dyan. Can you show us your snacks?
Ayun.
Ay, meron po.
Piatos.
My favorite flavor,
Talaga.
Very great. Piatos.
sour cream.
Oy, dalawa yung piatos, kaya lang yung isa.
Nagaraya
Yeah.
po yung sa
Nagaraya yung isa, baka. Oo. Hindi, pero dalawa yung piatos na may acknowledgement receipt. Kaya lang yung isa, 1T lang. So baka hindi
Si
magkapatid.
Renan.
Renan.
Si
Okay.
Renan saka si Mary Grace.
Yeah, okay. To Kong Zia and Kong Paulo, both of you, what is the worst thing you read about yourself? Kasi syempre, di ba, ang daming trolls, ang daming patiko sa inyo. What is the worst thing you, and I've heard this, I've heard either of you say this, parang noong una medyo affected kayo, kaya lang wala, nasanay na rin, and after a while, it's okay. So, and then let's take this all with a grain of salt at the same time. Let's look at it through yung lens ng humor. So, ano yung pinaka nakakatawa, or pinaka unbelievable, nakakatawa, the worst thing you've heard about yourself? Kong Paulo.
Siguro yung pinaka standard siguro po yung Crocs. Young Crocs, baby Crocs, Young Goons, yan yung paulit-ulit. Young Goons. Opo. Pero
Play on the word. Okay.
Play on the word, opo.
Yeah.
Pero,
Parang wala, natatawa lang ako. More on natatawa, pero dun po sa influx before when we started opening our mouths and defending the house and talking and being active, grabe na po yung influx sa amin ng trolls, talagang coordinated attacks po. Like every day, hanggang ngayon medyo marami po. Pero doesn't affect me eh. Kasi dito naman galing sa loob sa core So nagsawa sila. Trabaho kasi nila yun. They're paid to do that. So okay lang. Trabaho lang. Move on, council. Diba?
Kong Zia, ikaw naman.
Oh. Ganun
Kongsi,
talaga.
ikaw naman.
Actually, pareha naman kami nung ano.
Ito true story to Ma'am Pia.
Mm.
Kasi yung
Stop
anak
calling me
ko,
ma'am. Nakakainis ka naman.
Pia lang.
Pia,
Close
okay.
tayo.
Yan lang.
Okay.
Sabi ka.
Okay.
Oh.
This is true story. May yung anak ko kasi mahilig siya ng dinosaur. Then nung mga early parts nung lumalabas na kami, sabi ko sa kanya, okay, kinukumpare ko. My favorite dinosaur is Triceratops.
Triceratops.
Oo. Yeah, oo. Tapos sabi nung so isa siya daw, T-Rex. So sabi ko, if you're T-Rex, daddy is Triceratops. Sabi niya, no, daddy is a crocodile. kasi kasi yung yaya niya may Facebook tas nanonood ng TikTok. Parating niya nakikita daw yung nakikita niyo nakabarong ako tapos yung ulo ko tas nagta-transform into crocodile. So true story to Ma'am Pia. Kasi sinabi ni ni Pao, pare-pareho kami. Actually
Yeah.
yung ginawa na lumalabas is yung mga crocodile, junior crocs. Pero lately ako, I would admit talagang naggalit ako doon sa allegation ng 18 Marines. Yung sinali yung pangalan ko.
Tayo.
Oo, tayo, 'di ba?
Basically lahat ng kalaban.
Oo. Na doon talaga ako kasi parang binibigyan ng attention nung time na yon by by the Senate, no? Wala namang problema sa investigation sa flood control kasi
welcome din naman natin lahat.
nag-start tayo eh. Actually, with right to investigate.
Mas nauna pa nga po tayo dun sa investigations.
And then we had to stop the investigation kasi nga may ICI tapos people are saying, ba't nyo investigate yung sarili ninyo? Diba? Conflict of interest. So, nung tumigil na
Ba't di tayo nag-investigasyon? Sabi.
Galit na naman sila. Ba't di kayo nag-investigate? Are you trying to hide yourself or you hide your friends from this allegation? So, nung nagkaroon na ng ganong klase, at first, hindi ko talaga pinansin yung 18 Marines. Pero when it started to attract tapos attention to a point na gagamitin nila yung mga legitimate venues para nakita ko na yung trend para yung lahat ng known and perceived na mga detractors o yung critic ng Vice President iisa-isahin nila. That's when I decided kailangan ko na talagang mag-file ng case. So I filed cyber libel case against these 18 Marines in Marawi City. Tsaka, di ba? Ikaw din, no? Nag-file.
In Marawi City talaga.
Yeah, Marawi. Para kasi doon ko nalaman eh. At saka ang naisip ko po is this is the opportunity for my people for me to show to my people that their representative is not a crook. And para mabigyan din ng pagkakataon kasi these are the people who voted me and elected me to the office. So the one who deserves knowing kung meron talagang katotohanan yung allegation ng 18 Marines ay yung mga bumoto sa akin.
Right.
So that's why doon ako nag-file. Sabi ko doon sila pumunta. So yun lang. The question is ano yung pinaka hindi ako actually nasaktan kasi alam ko hindi totoo. Medyo nairita na ako eh. Kasi pati yung mga alam kong yung mga trolls na alam ko naman na wala naman din silang magawa but to naka-assign na kasi kami sa mga trolls nila eh. 'Di ba? Napansin mo namin is every week may target sila sa amin. So alam na namin yung movement nila. Pero nabibigyan sila ng ganong klaseng ammunition to a point na parang it appears like merong legitimacy kunyari.
Hindi siya affected, Ma'am Pia, no?
Yeah, hindi. Natotoo.
Mukhang hindi naman.
Chill lang siya. Wala yun.
Oo, sa lagay na yun.
From that serious, punta naman tayo dun sa nakakatawa. So I mentioned, I used the word nakakatawa, sense in the sense of yung sense of humor. And I bring this up because that's what I noticed about you, Kong Paolo, no? Nakakatawa ka talaga. And I can't help it. Let me go through yung mga pinagsasabi mo, yung mga halimbawa. Dahil ang sabi nila, dapat meron silang pagkain, ganyan. And then sabi mo sa isang press con, sabi mo, yung kape, kami ni Kong Zia, 3-in-1, okay na kami. Ganon. Kami sana bigyan kami, sabi mo. And then, nung sinabi kong si Sara na pumunta ng hindi pa siya pumunta, no? Pumunta na ng Senado. sabi mo na thank you sa pagdalo, pero matagal nang inaabangan yung mga sagot ninyo. And then, meron ka rin sinabi dun sa, di ba nagsabi si VP Sara na in this bloodbath and in this bludgeoning, bloody, etc. Ang sabi mo, nahilig siya sa blood, tapos merong nagparamdam lang siya, parang clickbait, yan ba ang role niya. I mean, meron kang mga sinasabi na parang lumalanding talaga, no? And the sense of you, it's just it's so witty, it's so funny. Minsan nga, parang muntik na akong mahulog sa upuan ko, no? Teka, hindi pa ako tapos. And then, meron ka bang sinabi na nung pinag-uusapan sa isang press conference, paano na kung si VP Sara mag-resign? Tapos sabi mo na ang sarap nga ng trabaho niya, chill lang siya, nagtatravel, gano'n. And then, may nagtanong, you want to be considered? Sabi mo, bagay ba? Yung mga... so, nakuha yung sense of humor.
Pero di ba,
ano ba, matagal ka ng ganyan? Sorry, Kongzi, what are you saying?
Hindi ko po alam eh. Siguro feeling ko it's an Ortega thing. Kasi parang sa family naman, there are a lot of talkers. Like, they love kwento, they love parang life is a comedy sometimes to members of the family. Like ako I find comedy in little things and poke fun at things. So pag napapansin ko na medyo hindi truthful o medyo hindi naman totoo yung sinasabi ng tao, tapos medyo parang convicted siya sa mga natatawa talaga ako, parang I poke fun at those things. Ewan ko, pero siguro it comes naturally for me.
Yeah, comes naturally. Kasi walang scripted sa sinasabi mo talaga.
Wala po.
Right off the top of your head, no? It's so weird, no? So I'm asking questions about sense of humor and yung mga nakakatawa, tapos biglang nagseryoso tayo. Bakit ganyan?
Change gear agad.
Oo. So anyway, okay. So we're coming to the end of the show already. And wait, I forgot to ask kasi kanina we talked about yung educational background ni Kong Zia, di ba? So UP Diliman, the Xavier University.
Wow.
Ikaw naman, Kong Paulo, San Beda, correct? What did you take in college?
Probably the best course for public servants. Marketing communications. Di ba? Pasok na pasok.
Swak na swak.
Pero yung masters ko po sa PhD ko, public ad na po siya. So medyo nandun na po sa government side.
Okay. And then for masters, nag-Ateneo ka ba?
MPM po, public management.
Okay.
Kay Dean Tony Lavinia kami. Then
okay.
Then nag-PhD po ako under dun sa PCL Academy. Pero PCU po yung partners
PCU,
po na
Philippine Christian University.
Because before I was PCL president. So parang mandatory kami na mag-take ng
Okay. Ano yung PCL? Philippine Counselors League?
Counselors League po. Partner po siya ng yung league po ng counselors.
Yes.
Partner po niya sa Masters and PhD po, yung school, Philippine
So,
Christian.
nabanggit mo si Dean Tony. So is Dean Tony proud of you?
Nag-selfie po kami. Nag-selfie po kami nung first day when he saw me.
Okay.
Opo. At least after 15 years, nakita ulit kami. Dito pa sa hearing.
Okay. Sige. So, final words na. Kong Zia first. Some final words from you.
We're inviting everyone to keep track on the developments in the impeachment trial, kasi ang pinag-usapan po dito talaga ay pera ng taong bayan, at ang naipapakita po dito sa trial ay yung gaano katatag yung ating constitution, maski gaano rin kalakas yung nagiging yung pressure, political pressure na nararamdaman natin. So para naman ito sa kanila, para sa taong bayan, and this will actually set the standard, no? At least man lang on how we would elect our leaders in the coming years. So maganda sana na let's try to as much as possible makibahagi, saksi, makinig para maiwasan din natin yung mga hindi tamang impormasyon na po pwede nating o makuha sa mga unverified sources. So I think this is the only venue for us not only to educate ourselves but as well as to keep on calling our leaders to account pag meron talagang pananagutan silang dapat na i-explain sa ating taong bayan.
Okay, thank you, Kong Zia. Kong Paulo?
Yung sa akin naman po kasi parang there was may updates po with regards to yung viewership, yung mga nanonood po sa kayong mga nag-o-observe po ng impeachment. Usually mas marami pong nanonood dun sa mga highlights, yung mga shows, yung mga pre-show saka yung mga post-show. Sa live po parang hindi ganun kalaki pa rin yung engagement as compared to others. Parang napansin namin mas gusto nila yung meat na nung discussion eh. Kaya yung mga shows po kagaya nung podcast nyo, yung mga different na news outlets, yung mga different shows, talk shows, malaking bagay po yun kasi para tuloy-tuloy po na nakikialam, saka may stake po kasi yung taong bayan dito. So they should see how this accountability crusade goes and keep being engaged and keep on talking about the impeachment, keep talking about the government, keep talking about being a critic of the government. So good or bad yan, we welcome it all para at least tuloy-tuloy pa rin ba yung pagsubaybay ng taong bayan.
Even if it gets, and I will do it like that, even if it gets boring or
Or dirty even.
lalo na pag pinag-uusapan ang pera. Kaya lang like both you and Kong Z are saying na parang get involved and watch and listen, makinig mabuti. Dahil ang pinag-uusapan naman dito pera ng taong bayan, di ba? And I just wanted to share with you also, which I also shared before, nung panahon yung impeachment trial ni former President Joseph Estrada, merong isang private prosecutor, si Attorney Simeon Marcelo, na naging ombudsman. Meron siyang sinabi sa amin ng mga reporters covering the trial at the time. Sabi niya, this is one lesson I want you all to remember always, to take this by heart in the trial. Sabi niya, follow the bouncing ball, follow the money. And it's so important kasi, di ba, ito ngayon, pinag-uusapan yung Article 1, tapos lalo na pag pumunta tayo dun sa, ano ba yung unexplained wealth, Article 2, so talagang subaybayan mabuti. Parang follow the bouncing ball, follow the money, no? Anyway, okay. So I wanted to say thank you very much to the both of you, to Kong Zia Alonto Adyong, ang official spokesman at si
The official.
The official, pero yung unofficial, pero yung nakakatuwang spokesman, Deputy Speaker Congressman Paulo Ortega, Kong Zia of Lanao del Sur, 1st District, and Kong Paulo of the 1st District of La Union. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for giving me the time of the day for you to come on the show. Maraming salamat po sa inyong dalawa.
Anytime po, ma'am. Maraming salamat.
Anytime, Naku,
More
wag niyo
power.
sabihin. So thank you to the both of you, and thank you, of course, to people who are watching and listening. This has been Let's Talk. I'm Pio Ontiveros. Let's Talk is where we unpack, unbox, and decode. Let's keep talking. See you next week.